As we look to the future of gaming and beyond, there appears to be this definitive line drawn in the sand by both Microsoft and Sony, respectively. On one hand, the message supports the power argument of the Xbox Series X, with the potential of an exciting future of gaming leveraged with an exciting new acquisition. While on the other hand, the message supports next-generation speed and efficiency, with a continued dose of exclusives. With that said, here's a question for you. Can we expect much to change on the gaming landscape anytime soon? Or will the foreseeable future be more of the same? Think about that for a minute. When we say the foreseeable future, we are referring to the next 2, maybe 3 years, which in gaming can make all the difference in market perception. More of the same, however, relates to where we are today. And while we have highly anticipated hopes of Xbox-specific games moving the needle much further for the next generation, will it be enough to change the current state of gaming affairs? Or maybe the question is, can we expect those new Xbox games to release soon enough to make a positive dent in the current perception, or I should say current generation perception of the Xbox brand, which could bleed over into the next generation sooner than you think? Of course, great games are oftentimes a cure-all for any uncertainty, yet that perfect world does not yet exist for Xbox, as Sony refuses to take their foot off the gas. For example, at this point, we are all aware of the launch games arriving with both new consoles, and while we have heard countless excuses about how those PS5 launch games are not that impressive, Sony's PlayStation 5 launch lineup of games is clearly the more attractive offering at the moment, even with Destruction All-Stars being delayed until February as a PlayStation Plus game. Yet, that is only the beginning. Closing out 2020, and based on what we know today, the full year of 2021 is starting to look glaringly similar to where we are today, with the power argument of the Xbox Series X, with the potential of an exciting future of gaming leveraged with an exciting new acquisition, while on the other hand, and as said before, the message supports next-generation speed and efficiency with a continued dose of exclusives. Where have we heard that before? This could begin to sound like a broken record, but this is just food for thought. While these PS5 launch game excuses will get a pass for the next generation hype and excitement surrounding our favorite platforms at the moment, come 2021, what will be the excuses when games like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 Forbidden West, Deathloop, God of War Ragnarok, Ghostwire Tokyo, Stray, Solar Ash, Gran Turismo 7, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart make their rounds exclusively on Sony's next generation hardware? In fact, there will be none. More than likely, and as stated before, it will be business as usual. Could Halo Infinite make a dent? Well, based on the fact that we currently have no launch window for the game, and in other pressing news, 343 Industries studio head Chris Lee has just resigned, and the last time we saw Halo Infinite, it was cringeworthy, we will choose not to answer that question until more definitive truth surrounding the game's whereabouts come to surface. Now we're looking at 2022, and at this point, it is safe to assume that for Sony, it will be business as usual. Maybe something from the 2021 exclusive lineup gets delayed into 2022. Our money is on Gran Turismo 7. Then there is the potential of Guerrilla Games' new multiplayer shooter. SOCOM or Killzone is anyone's guess at this point. It has been confirmed that Sucker Punch is already hard at work working on their sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. In addition, Insomniac Games is also said to be working on the sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man. Legendary game creator Hideo Kojima recently made it official via Twitter that his next interactive project is currently in the works. While it's certain that Final Fantasy XVI is more than likely launching in 2022. None of that PlayStation news is surprising and most expected. However, we believe 2022 is a critical year for the Xbox brand, as the hype and excitement of the new consoles will have faded by this time, and it will be about what have you done for me lately. Trust that by 2022, you will not care about how pretty Gears of War 5 or any other backwards compatible game looks on your still shiny new Xbox Series X or S. And if you're thinking that Xbox Game Pass will get you through the potential rough patch of the first full fiscal year, remember that while Game Pass is awesome value, it is only as good as the games on offer. We are sure, or we expect those ZeniMax games alongside some of those other games from previously acquired studios to start churning out games. Games like Starfield, Hellblade: Senua's Saga, maybe a new Wolfenstein might be in order. In fact, and based on how bad Halo Infinite was showcased, it might be a good idea to push Halo Infinite back to 2022. to make sure it fully maximizes the hardware with no rushed shortcomings. Yet, as mentioned before, the market perception is captured early. So by 2022, we expect the next generation to look no different than we are today, based on what we know today. Could we be wrong? We certainly hope so. And that will be up to Phil Spencer and Xbox to decide. And there you have it.